bend. I'm usually faster than that, I swear.
No one's that bad at Orland Slap. And I've played against some real sorry folk.
Maybe I'm just the sorriest of the lot.
Something tells me that ain't it.
At once.
Halt! What is your business at the Brass Citadel? You're the Watcher. The one who nearly caused a riot in Queensbirth. The Grand Secretary at Sura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Up the stairs. Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right. Hazanui Karu is the ultimate authority in the Brass Citadel. But she must endure the sops at the palace. When she returns, I'm sure she will grant you an audience. For now, Atsura Nui speaks with her voice.
Leave. No Valiant spy is coming through on my watch.
I'm a merchant. I have business inside.
You want to see our walls, our cannons, our powder house. You must think I'm an idiot.
Ugh, you got one thing right.
Happily.
My fingers be fat and furry, but they're ever so nimble.
Looking for a pistol or an arquebus? Rawatai makes the finest guns in Aora, and I make the finest guns in Rawatai. Craftsmanship. If you ask my superiors at Imperial Command, they'll tell you our main exports are saltpeter and metal. Those are just things. They're prized because of what we do with them. Rawataian industry is about discipline, precision, mastery of a careful art. Those qualities guide all that we build.
If I collapse, just drag me on a rope.
This why you always got dirt in your hair?
What? You mean the grave dirt?
I wonder if I took to worshiping Andra, if she could make me forget what I just heard.
Of course.
I'm sorry, but this area is strictly off limits.
Private property of the Royal Deadfire Company, that's what. Sorry, my orders come from the Hazanui herself.
Battle for glory and Rautai.
Faithfully done, Emiani. Report to Wakoyo Nui when your hands and your temper have healed.
That's the last time I ship out with some soft-handed runt.
I've got all sorts of goods and supplies. Take a look before you head back out. Because I'm from Rautai. Or, to be more specific, my ancestral home's been part of the Empire for decades. Few generations now. The usual way, I guess. Their soldiers beat ours. I guess it used to. When I was younger, I grew up hearing stories of the time before from my grandparents. But they were children themselves when Rautai took over. Some wax romantic about the old days. Anyways, I'm just trying to make a living. That's why I'm here, after all. I don't know. I never known anything else. We've got the Rauataians' fancy new irrigation canals now, and the roads have gotten better. The ones leading into Tokoa, anyhow. Funny thing is, the further you go on them, the nicer everything gets, and the more it all looks like this. That's a better subject. Take a look.
Come to gawk, too? My punishment's over, you know. I punched my captain. Though maybe he shouldn't have insulted my aim. Like I don't know the difference between a smooth and rifled bore. I'm not reporting back to Wakoyo, that's for sure. I crewed on mercenary ships before this. Come to think of it, that suited me better. Still a scramble-root at heart, I guess. But I'm plenty experienced. Maybe I'll see if anyone's looking for an expert cannoneer. Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know, either personally or by reputation. I'm sure you're capable, but I don't know enough about you, yet. Let's talk again when you've made a name for yourself. My hands are feeling better. It's my pride that's still sore. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm sure you're capable. Let's talk again.
Indeed.
I don't be supposing we could blow it up.
Clear skies, my friend. I know of you already, Captain. The boats of our decorated armada have orders which spread them thinly across the archipelago. Rauatai finds itself in need of a privateer. Your ship, unmoored from Deadfire politics, is an asset I would grasp with both hands. An arrangement can help us both. You will empty the seas of competition in exchange for profit. An official reckoning is drafted to account for every cannonball shot in the name of Rauatai. Our paperwork is most thorough. For every ship sunk, there is a legal justification. Our enemies will know the war is started on the day we fail to turn in our paperwork. A Scylla wave skipper is your first target. A pirate shirking any pretense of lawful conduct in the open seas. Most excellent. Scylla commands the Voyager River Dragon, which pesters a group of islands to the southwest of Port Mage. Ask away, my privateer. I would not have you take to the water uninformed. Our enemies sow discord in the waves while you tarry. Let no one say aha the lazy privateer. Seek your target and be done.
Meet her eye when you've got bad news. She respects that.
I don't think she likes me. I spent most of my career escorting foreign ships.
Many have. She's got nothing against scramble routes, but don't stare at her hand.
If this is about the Hazatoa tournament, I've got nothing to do with that, all right? I just serve the drinks. Some of the soldiers and sailors get to making unwise bets when they play. Like I said, I keep out of it. None of the regulars are looking for new opponents, though, if that's what you're asking. All the better for you, trust me. They always pay on time. They're run by the Ronganui, so they should, right? Also, I'm from a town near Tekoa. Rautai's full of all kinds of kith, not just Amawa. But the Amawa have a long history at sea. They make up a lot of sailors and soldiers, including most of the ones that ended up here. Sorry, I'm really only supposed to sell to captains working for the Royal Deadfire Company.
Why does your Ronga carve his name into a rock?
The Ronganui, and it's a commemoration to show what he built.
Oh. Then did your Reparo also write their names on other stones? For what do you squawk and gloat over a heap of stones? Akira, you Rautaians are strange cousins indeed.
The brass citadel is a marvel of modern engineering. With the gates barred and the cannons primed, it can withstand any attack and weather any storm. Surely you can see what a fine stronghold this is. Please, spare us empty pleasantries. We transformed a rocky cove into the best defended harbor in Nekataka. Such achievements must be celebrated.
This rocky cove was once a prized fishing spot for the Riparu. These Rautaians act as if every bare islet is merely awaiting a fort or a farm. They cannot look at anything without planning to change it.
To strive is to survive. Those who would achieve greatness must make the world a better, more ordered place than they found it.
Why change the world when you can learn to live in it the way it is? This is what my people have done for thousands of years.
And wild barley grows on its own, but most of it dies without a skilled farmer.
Akira, nothing invigorates like a good discussion. Thank you for indulging us.
I must say, our adventures together have been a welcome change of pace. When we first met in the Deerwood, you were struggling for your sanity. Now you're fighting for your soul. I can't imagine the weight of that burden. And yet you've borne it, and more remarkably. The gods have sent you after Aethys, and every power of note in Deadfire has their own plans for you. That puts you in a position of incredible influence. I've known you to be a person of rare kindness. Still, I'm pleased to see that you don't take your responsibilities lightly. Perhaps so. But you must know how many lives hang in the balance. I hope you'll remember this in the days to come.
How may I help?
You look like you have something on your mind.
Certainly.
Slavers proud the caves and reefs, seas and waters sold. Who would come with sword and gun to end their evil scourge?
I don't be supposing wicked.
What hazard visited Hasago? What disaster darkened its halls? Brave trenches call for justice. Kahunga fold their hands.
Green islands and blue skies.
The locals don't know how good they have it.
Of course.
Say, lass, I'd like to try prodding your forts again. Savvy?
I can tell you what I see right now. Your insides are on your outsides, and you're covered in flies. It ain't the prettiest of sights, but go ahead, if you're feeling brave.
Ah, I see. Plagued by nightmares then, lass. Skies afire, boiling seas, that sort of shit?
Sure am. Don't try to hide it, neither. Tribulations from the gods are a blessing, not a curse.
Well, I ain't one for knowing gods and prophecies, but I can be sharing with you the ancient pirate's secret for sleeping like a babe, if that be of interest to you.
Of course, I wouldn't mind a reprieve. Just for a night or a few. If you got something, tell me.
Rum. Barrels of rum. Drink it till you see free of me, and you'll be sleeping through cracking attacks.
Did you see those awful verses by the kitchen?
They weren't that bad.
Rhyming Hazanui with kablooey?
I can't think of anything else that goes with Hazanui.
Me neither. That's why I leave epics to the lore college.
Criticism is easier than creation.
Happily.
Watcher Nui, the Lord of Cadnua.
I'm not one for ostentation, but your remarkable display at Queen's birth suggests that you are an individual with skills, not mere style. I am Atsura, Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company. And why not? Thousands of years ago, our people came from the archipelago. By one reckoning, we have as much claim on these islands as the Juana. But our purpose here is trade. While our homeland is rich in saltpeter, the violent climate and rocky soils make it a poor source for most other basic staples. It's my business to look after the mainland's interests here. That is a Valian frivolity. Leave it to them to observe a substance that occurs nowhere else on Aora and immediately set about pulverizing it for profit. For now. But what will ultimately win out? The Valians' drive for innovation or their hunger for wealth? Besides, we know too little about luminous Adra to understand the consequences of ripping it out. Your recent adventure at Poko Kahara has illuminated a curious link between luminous Adra and the weather. We'd long suspected something unnatural was behind the storms, but we had little evidence. Yes, if the storms that assail Rawatai have a similarly unnatural origin, then perhaps they too can be stopped. And if that's the case, then there's more work to be done. Work that you might be able to help with. After all, those of us born to privilege have a responsibility to use it to noble ends, no? In any case, Hazanui Karu has a matter that could use your help. She's currently meeting with the Queen and the Valians at the palace, but she'll want to speak with you once they finish. Her office is on the main floor behind the large double doors. It's most conspicuous. It's a trading post, of course. Anything worth building is worth protecting. It's a trading post, of course. Rawatai is rich in saltpeter, copper, and a few other profitable minerals. We generally trade for food and timber, which grow poorly in the rough country. The Valians have become aggressive competitors in recent years, but our ships were plying the seas long before the Republic's declared independence. We learned the value of defending our goods and ships long ago. Clear skies. It's a trading post, of course. I just did. How do you mean that? Rawatai is composed of many types, but it's true, many here are soldiers and engineers, none of whom are especially diligent about paperwork. How do you mean that? It comes from years of practice. It's the only way I've learned to beat Karanui at Hazatoa. How do you mean that? Are you making advances at me? It's for the best. This would be a most inconvenient time to begin an attachment.
Hi, Miko. It is good to see you. It has been several years, no?
I don't be sposing. The kid swapped in sparkling. Fingers be easy breezy, wet.
always forget that part. Say, you're the Watcher of Cadnua, aren't you? I've never met anyone famous before. Except the Hazanui. She yells at me sometimes. Oh, all the time. Where's my white leaf? Stop daydreaming. So bore me, if you lose the ledgers again, I'll have you clean the latrines. All this time, I didn't realize she knew my name. It's just, this is my first time away from the rough country. I'd heard there were thick, green forests and sandy beaches without a storm in sight, but I never imagined this. You must have traveled lots, seen all sorts of amazing places. I sure hope to. I love Rauatai, but it's hard to go a week without seeing storms, or hearing about mudslides burying a village somewhere. I really wish I could, but my supplies are for the Royal Deadfire Company and our allies. Hazanui's orders. Maybe if you impress her or Atsura, they could make an exception.
Of course.
One of my eyes be open. Get done and done.
My hands are feeling better. Don't take this. I'm sure. Let's talk.